Directed by Jack Schreier, Thunderbolts assembles a team of fractured anti-heroes: Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, John Walker, Ghost, and the mysterious Bob Reynolds, known as Sentry. Unlike traditional Marvel fare, this film shuns polished heroics for a gritty, introspective narrative. Schreier's visual language, marked by stark contrast, shadowy reflections, and claustrophobic spaces, evokes a world where inner turmoil overshadows external threats. These are not saviors, they are survivors, each grappling with their own psychological scars. The story centers a covert mission that forces them to confront not just a shadowy enemy, but the darker corners of their own minds, making Thunderbolts a compelling case study in trauma and recovery. Thunderbolts serves as a metaphor for mental illness, particularly post-traumatic stress disorder and its frequent companions, depression and substance misuse. Bob, as Sentry, embodies this struggle most vividly. His alter ego, the Void, is a monstrous projection of his unresolved trauma, born from a history of abuse and loss. In one chilling scene, Bob hides in a mental safe space, an attic where he can momentarily escape the echoes of his past. Yet, the screams of memory intrude, a poignant depiction of PTSD's hallmark, intrusive recollections that refuse to be silenced. Yelena Belova, portrayed with raw intensity by Florence Pugh, mirrors this avoidance. Haunted by the loss of her sister Natasha, she buries her grief in relentless missions and alcohol, a classic defense mechanism. Her repeated insistence that she is fine, a phrase echoed across the team, captures the universal tendency to suppress pain. As psychologist Basil van der Kolk notes in The Body Keeps the Score, unprocessed trauma festers, narrowing one's world. Thunderbolts illustrates this through Yelena's hollow routines and the team's fractured lives, showing how avoidance offers temporary relief but fuels long-term suffering. Each Thunderbolt carries their own burden. Red Guardian clings to a glorified past, Ghost wrestles with her synthetic identity, and John Walker hides the shame of familial failure. Bucky, now a congressman, seems stable but battles lingering guilt. This ensemble reflects what psychiatrists Judy Thurman describes in Trauma and Recovery. Trauma isolates, but shared struggle fosters connection. Thunderbolts sets the stage for this communal healing. The film's brilliance lies in its portrayal of recovery, drawing heavily on cognitive behavioral therapy principles, particularly exposure therapy. Yelena, acting as a guide, urges Bob to confront his most painful memories rather than flee them. In a powerful sequence, they journey through this traumatic past, revisiting moments of violence and shame. This mirrors exposure therapy's core tenet: facing feared memories in safe context diminishes their power. As psychologist Edna Foe, a pioneer in PTSD treatment, argues, fear is unlearned through experience. Bob's gradual ability to face his memories without collapsing reflects this process, offering a hopeful message about reclaiming agency. Yet Thunderbolts emphasize that healing is not solitary. When the Void threatens New York, the team unites to enter Bob's psyche, battling manifestations of his trauma. This collective effort underscores the therapeutic value of connection, echoing psychiatrist Irvin Yalom's concept of universality, the realization that one's struggles are shared. A particularly striking moment sees the team confront Bob's shame-laden memory of psychosis-fueled violence in a chicken suit, a scene that balances humor with empathy. By facing these memories together, they dismantle the isolation that trauma thrives on. For those versed in Carl Jung, Thunderbolts is a masterclass in the shadow, the repressed, often shameful aspect of the self. Each character embodies this archetype. Bucky confronts his violent past as the Winter Soldier, Yelena rejects her assassin conditioning, and Bob's Sentry is a literal split between godlike potential and self-destructive darkness. Jung argued that true growth or individuation requires integrating the shadow rather than denying it. Thunderbolts embraces this, showing characters who don't defeat their flaws but learn to coexist with them. The film's climax, where the team pulls Bob from the Void's grasp, rejects the idea of fighting darkness with more darkness. Instead, it champions connection and vulnerability. As Jung wrote in Psychology and Alchemy, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but making the darkness conscious. Thunderbolts offers a no tidy resolutions. Its heroes remain flawed, but their willingness to face their shadows marks the first step towards wholeness. This nuanced portrayal elevates the film beyond superhero tropes, aligning it with works like Logan or The Dark Knight, which also grapple with moral and psychological complexity. Schirrer's direction amplifies the film's psychological depth. The action unfolds in liminal spaces, abandoned factories, subterranean layers that feels like extensions of the unconscious. Unlike the MCU's usual CGI spectacle, the fights are raw, almost claustrophobic, emphasizing emotional stakes over visual excess. The Void's assault on New York, forcing citizens to relive their deepest shames, is a visual metaphor for collective trauma. The recurring motif of "I'm fine" waves through the dialogue, a subtle reminder of the masks people wear. Those elements create a noir-like atmosphere, making Thunderbolts feel more akin to Seven than Avengers. Thunderbolts arrives at a time when mental health conversations are more vital than ever. Its message that it's okay to struggle and seek help resonates deeply in a world grappling with isolation and uncertainty. The film's portrayal of Yelena as a wounded healer, guiding others while battling her own pain, reflects the reality of many therapists and caregivers, as explored in Robert Grant's The Way of the Wound. The team's final act of solidarity, saving Bob not through force but through empathy, underscores a universal truth: no one heals alone. This narrative choice makes Thunderbolts a beacon for anyone who's ever felt trapped by their past. Marvel's Thunderbolts is a triumph of storytelling, blending psychological depth with superhero grit. It challenges viewers to confront their own shadows, embrace vulnerability, and find straightening connection. Whether you are drawn to its Jungian undertones, its CBT-inspired recovery arc, or its raw emotional core, this film redefines what it means to be a hero. What did you take away from Thunderbolts? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going.